Chapter 1, First Steps in Yoga, from the book Yoga, a Gem for Women by Geeta Iyengar. Poets write sonnets about carefree and joyous childhood, but for me childhood was a nightmare. At an age when children go plucking raw mangoes or tamarind on the sly, the sickbed was my companion. I was in turn afflicted with chronic fever, headache, cold, cough, and stomachache. As if this were not enough, I was laid up with typhoid, jaundice, and diphtheria. To top it all, I suffered from nephritis, acute inflammation of the kidneys. When I was 10 years old, needless to say, my attendance at school was irregular. I became so weak that climbing even a step was an impossibility for me. During a severe attack of nephritis, I was unconscious for 4 days in a nursing home. The doctors did not hold out much hope for my survival, and they informed my parents accordingly. By the grace of God, I survived and was discharged after 3 weeks. I heaved a sigh of relief at the thought of being spared so many injections a day. However, I was given a long list of medicines. The return home was like a release from prison. Little did I know then that after this release, I was to witness a great upheaval in my life. On my returning home, my father kept the list of medicines aside and said sternly, "From tomorrow onwards, no more medicines. Either you practice yoga or get prepared to die." From the next day, I started to practice yoga asanas, though not very regularly. Gradually, my health showed signs of improvement. Once a week, I used to go to the doctors for a checkup. "Condition improving. Continue the medicines," the doctors would say. And I continued my yoga practice at home. I must, however, admit that I was not very regular. Later, when foreign students came to study yoga from my father, I felt ashamed. I thought, if foreigners spend a lot of money to derive benefits from yoga at the hands of my father, surely the least I could do was to be sincere and regular. I resolved that I would learn all about yoga and one day become a teacher of yoga as my father. Since 1961, that dream has been fulfilled. This book is the result of my experience as a yoga teacher. During these years, I've given many yoga demonstrations as well. An Indian woman's life is a veritable tightrope walk. Her status in society, the problems she has to face due to social and economic pressures, the burdens nature has imposed on her. All these result in stress and tell upon her health. The more I thought about my sisters, women, and their particular problems, the more I was convinced that yoga was the answer. This book considers how women can achieve fulfillment in their lives through the practice of yoga.